All right. So, Gene, we just had our last process lab. Is that what the class is called?
Yeah.
Thank you for going on this journey with us.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about how that started? What led you to being cast in this play?
Yeah. I guess, obviously we're in this program together, so I've known you as a playwright throughout the program. And there's a class called PDU, which is Playwright Directors Unit at our school. And, you hear rumblings through the grapevine of what maybe people are doing for their thesis and stuff. And the second semester of that class was going to be where the playwrights are working on their thesis plays. And I was like, I haven't worked with TJ yet. I want to work with TJ. And so
Why? Yeah.
because it's funny because, looking back, I barely read any of your work, so I don't know what it was, but we had worked together as scene partners twice at that point. We did Heidi Chronicles end of first year, and then we did Glass Menagerie together. So I think...
And we did the Jabberwocky.
Oh, we did Jabberwocky too in class. Yeah, in first year. Yeah. So I think working with you as an actor, I think I got... It's funny because I'm looking back on it now. I'm like, I don't know. Why did I want to work with you? Why did I?
I don't know. I was very glad you approached me though.
Yeah. Because
I don't know.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Because I came up to you and I was like, I don't know what you're doing for your thesis, but I'd like to be a part of it. And
it was at Jeremy's, right?
Yeah. Those who know.
I think that was the same night Sam asked me too. He was like, and
I think we later found this out.
It's
so
funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was because I guess I would have seen or heard and seen your work at First Fest first year, but I don't know. I really didn't know your work before.
Yeah. What was my thing in First Fest? Do you remember?
Yeah. Billy and Allie outside the, it was to me, like Romeo and Juliet with beer, which I think is a pretty good descriptor of.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
I forget what it was called, but.
It was called A Window into Your Heart, which is a very, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of a try-hard title, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that wasn't the best thing that I had written that semester though. It was just the age appropriate thing. Because the other play I had was about this dad and his adult son. So the dad was 70 and the kid was 30. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I had was about this guy who had committed manslaughter by driving drunk, driving a tractor trailer drunk and caused a huge pileup and killed a bunch of people. So he was in prison. And his niece came to the prison to see him.
Oh God!
Because her dad left her, and they're twins, the uncle and the dad. So she's I just wanted to
see him
kind of. And I mean, I don't know. I want to go back and work on that one, but
what are they? What was it? What were those both called?
The father-son one was called No Jacket.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, that's No Jacket.
Yeah, which was published by the Coachella Review last spring. Thank you. And the other one was called Poison Freeway, which is a reference to a Big Thief song called Interstate. So
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you saw First Fest and you're like, this guy.
There's
so
something
good.
there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but it's funny because I really just do think that the experience I had working with you as an actor just shows your whole artistic person, you know? That comes through with your writing as well. So it's like, I could only assume, because I didn't see much of your work, what your writing would be. Because even in first semester of second year, for the first semester of PDU, I didn't see All Talk because I just the way that the class worked and the presentation of it, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to see it was basically what it was.
Was it because you were right before us or right after us, or because y'all were the last one?
We were last.
Staged.
Yeah.
I think I was first.
Were you first?
I think so. I'm trying to remember.
I know
exactly
that
how it went.
I tried to come to the tech day to watch the ones that I
was first.
You were first?
I remember now.
Yeah. I tried to come to the tech day, but I think they moved the schedule, so I had work. So I was like,
yeah. I mean, the tech run was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little messy, but
as they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was I don't know. Kate cried at tech watching All Talk, and I was like, that's good. That felt like that was, a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, the reaction to it, like people didn't really. I don't know. I didn't really hear a lot from people,
mm-hmm.
and it was cool that Reza wanted to do it for Showcase.
Yeah,
yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad that he got to go back to that character, and hopefully he'll go back to it again.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll do something with it, because I do like that play a lot.
Mm-hmm. But I know Dakota had a great time working on it as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, every cast I've worked with, I've loved. Like, I haven't had any complaints about any of the people in the school or in the cohort, because I've worked with second years too, and they're great.
As have I with you.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess this is like the second and first, or this is the third and first play we've worked on together, because it's like in between that kind of was Another Lifer for PDU, because it feels like the first iteration of If I Cleaned, and then now, even though we've been working on it for the entire year, it's like now it's the final product. Like,
and then there's
back.
like Tarot process.
Tarot,
too.
yeah, outside of school,
Yeah.
A short film coming soon.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
but eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but Another Lifer, which I continuously call Last Chance at Camp Little Bear.
Allie does it too. Allie does it too. Nat calls it Another Lifer.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Sinja talk about it much lately, but Nat brought it up the other night at
Ryan McGuire's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another Irish pub.
Yeah. Another Irish pub in the in Fidei.
In the Fidei area. Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a lot of fun, because Allie is on the track for directing. They needed another playwright, I think is how it worked out. So you were asked to be in that class, right?
Yeah, that was really cool to be asked back.
Yeah.
And the first cast that we had for that group was going to be Sinjin and Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
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 And then Alexa dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nat was like, well, I can be in two pieces, because Nat was in one of Ryan's pieces, The Sandwich Project. And then I don't know how, like, it was offered to third year actors, if they wanted to participate in the class again, they could.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got communicated, though.
I think it was like the numbers for the class, like they just wanted more people, so they opened it up to the third years.
Because a bunch of people, like, they went to the tryout and then they decided not to.
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, Sherry reached out to me and I was like, yeah, I loved that class. I loved that process and everything. And so I was like, yes, I definitely want to be a part of it again. And then, pairing it up with you and Allie, two people that I'm very close with personally and also like to work with professionally. Well, I guess actually that was the first time that I've worked with Allie as a director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I might have known that, but I forgot.
Yeah, I think it was. Because we
No,
did.
no. Yeah.
Are you talking about outside of school?
Yeah.
Yeah. we did Ryan's play. It was like a Romeo and Juliet adaptation. I'm forgetting the name right now, but that was like a little 10-minute for Granny Cart. Shout out, Al.
Shout out. 9th Street.
Yeah. But that was just a couple of rehearsals and everything, scripts in hand. Well, that's what this was too. But like, it was a quick down and dirty type of thing. But this was like an actual process working with Allie as a director. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And I think too, something that was a big help throughout that process was we had, and I'm sure you're feeling this now too, we had been a part of the class for 2 semesters previously. Because it was last semester. We'd done the class, so it's kind of like, and we've also been through the school X amount of time after or longer than the second years, which is, just what it is. Yeah. So it was just it was just different, but in a great way, because like we understand the class, what it wants and what we can get out of it, I think.
Yeah. And I think the greatest strength about that class is that it's just like it creates new work, especially that first semester. I think I really like the second semester PDU because you can bring in like something that you wanted to do, and really like put it through the ringer. And that usually ends up being people's thesis.
Yeah.
As well. But the first semester is so cool because you get so much input from the actors, and it's really like, it's not like a devised piece, but they give you so much and you can use as much of it as you want or as little of it as you want. And I felt like, because in PDU the year prior, we had gotten like a theme that we had to write about, which was social change or social justice, which I did like doing, but it was also like having that limitation kind of narrowed what we could do. So this semester really felt kind of just like all the doors are open. I'm working with a director who I really trust. I'm working with an actor that I really trust. And I'm working with 2 actors that I really respect and like working with. I didn't know I liked working with them at the time because we hadn't worked together yet. But
you had to find that out.
Yeah, through the process, it was super great. And everyone brought in really great ideas every week. And the idea for the play just kind of like manifested very naturally. And it was never like, oh, I want to write about this thing. I think because of where we are in life right now, like the idea of being at the end of something, like being just outside of the real world, really appealed to me. And I don't know if it was you who pitched summer camp, if that was like something you wrote, or because I seem to remember, I think it was, but then St. John also had this drawing of
a tree, right?
Like trees and like a waterfall and like this like really like natural aesthetic. And then Nat was talking about like serious topics, but like in a bizarre place, a la like BoJack Horseman. Yeah. And I think we accomplished all of that with Another Lifer. Yeah. So I don't know. I really like that play and I'm proud of it. I wish I could do more with it, but like I'm just having trouble like figuring out what I want to do, and like what I want to write.
In terms of what to work on next?
Yeah, because it's like, I could write a full length of If I Cleaned, or I could write a full length of All Talk, which was like what I wanted to do from the beginning with that play. I didn't want it to be a one act.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, I think.
Yeah, because like it just, the way that play ends, it's like if you end that play a scene earlier than
the current one act.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you read it. Did I send it to you?
Maybe.
I might have, but I might not have.
I don't think you sent me that one. I think this was before. That was first year what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with All Talk, the way it ends, there's like a crossroads where Muhammad is defying Chuck, who's like the EP of the show, and like got Muhammad the job, and then is trying to get Annie on his side to make sure that Muhammad does the show, and they, work their way up to hosting the Tonight Show, which is about to be vacated by the previous host.
Okay.
And so it's like a cliffhanger, and you're like, oh, like what's gonna happen? But the scene before that, he goes on the show, Living with Jack Chambers, which is his like stage name.
Yeah.
And he says his real name, and he's like owning that and owning being an Iranian entertainer who also wants to talk about like social justice and social change. And a lot of people were like, well, you could end it there. Like that could be the one act. But I don't know. I don't think like him buying into his identity and like, starting to defy the shackles of like homogenized entertainment for like, mostly white middle class people. It doesn't change the fact that kids are being, killed in schools every day, which is another part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. And that was like Sherry wanted me to do All Talk as my thesis.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just don't think it would work as a one act, and I don't want to do it as a one act.
Oh yeah, because you have that restriction of
like 30 minutes.
The thesis being one,
Well, 40 I think
40 something. Yeah. I know we've talked outside about like different directions you've thought about for Clean. What directions do you have for All Talk? Or have you thought about it that way?
I have like the whole plot in my head.
You know what you want to write for it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it like what I think it would be is they force Muhammad to go back to being Jack, and he does it for a bit, and then like totally derails everything like right before they're about to get the Tonight Show. Like the people are in the like studio, like the final people who are like, yes, you can do this job, and he throws it all away, quits, brings Annie with him, and they start a podcast where it's like, he can be both things. He can be like a silly entertaining person, but then he can also talk about
whatever
serious issues. Yeah. And there's no one like lording over him. And then it also like gives Annie a chance to be more creative and like more of a personality than, kind of like the sidekick that she was forced to be.
Nice.
On Living with Jack Chambers. So I have like the plot. It's just writing it. I have a hard time just writing things.
Now it's funny that you say that because I've been around you and part of the experience of you. So the final production, the final version of If I Cleaned is not very different from the one that you wrote in about 1 week before we started school.
Yeah, I mean that the script, like it's originally like the thing I conceived that led to If I Cleaned Everything was like a 10-minute short for this NYU like radio play thing that I applied to that I did not get because the show was not good.
The show, like the 10-minute thing that you did?
The 10-minute thing that I wrote. It was like because it had to be a radio play, but it also had to be a musical. So like I had submitted like 3 songs, and like a 10-minute script that was similar to this. To If I Cleaned, it was 2 ex-lovers meeting up after a funeral of a friend, but it was like they met at the funeral. Like one of them came back to town, realized the other one was there, like when they saw each other at the funeral, and they were like, well, like, you know, like let's let's do something. Like, and like, you know, supposedly other people were going to come over, and then it ended up just being them. And then they, you know, have 3 songs where they talk about the relationship, because it was like a proper musical, which I don't know how to write. So it was like
the music helps to tell the story.
Yeah.
Rather,
I mean, I have the script, and I showed it to Allie one time, and she's like,
cool.
she's like, it's like stilted. It's like pretty stilted.
Yeah.
And that was before I wrote If I Cleaned Everything. So that was like the germ of the idea. And then the night you and Sam asked me about like wanting to, or made it known that you wanted to be a part of, you know, the next thing I did for PDU and probably thesis. So I was just trying to think of like ideas that I had that could work as a 2-hander. 'Cause I don't know if I didn't want to start from scratch, or if it was just like, I don't know what starting from scratch would have been. And I was still interested in this idea of like this homecoming, tied with this tragedy. So I was like, well, I have that play that I could, you know, extend to 30 minutes. And I had done that before with a 30-minute play. I'd extended it to an hour, not an hour, to like a full length. I think it was like 90 minutes.
Nice.
That was Astral Projection. So I think the first thing I did was I texted you and Sam, and I was like, can you sing?
Yeah, you asked me.
With no context at all.
I remember I was, that was like probably like a day or 2 later, because, right? Probably.
It was during break.
Yeah, because I was driving with my mom back to Missouri, and we would have left the next day or the day after that. And we were walking around Walmart, because when you stop in Ohio, what's there to do except walk around Walmart? Right. And I checked my phone and I see a text from TJ, and I was like, what's this? And I had already told my mom about how, like, I was like, Mom, I want to be in TJ's thesis. Just conversation. And I see a text from TJ and says, can you sing? ? Or do you sing?
Yeah.
And I think I said like, yes, ! Like music note emoji, maybe like some microphone.
I think so.
And then I don't think you responded.
No, because I was like, okay, she can do it. And then I texted Sam.
Yeah.
And
that's
Sam
so funny.
said that he could sing. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll try writing this thing.
And I think
go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't hear anything else from you until like a month later, the day before.
Yeah, no, I think it was like, it was like, I was like, it was probably like another text like, can you two come to playwriting?
Yeah. It was like the day before the first day of class, and you were like, can you come to playwriting from like 1 to 2 tomorrow?
I'm such a monster.
Luckily, I know you as a person, and that's not like incredibly terrifying.
No, it's just such a bad habit. But yeah, and
I was like, oh, I think I know what this is.
Yeah, no, that was really wild reading it for the first time, because it was like, I don't know how you feel, but I immediately was like, this works. Like right off the bat, it was like, this is, yeah.
It's funny because it was like a whoa, like situation, because, and here's the thing. When you read a TJ script, like you have, you know, we laugh because you have your like roided up ellipses, you know, but I think, I keep hitting this thing. I think for a first read, like, you know, the tone that you wanted, you know, the time, like it is music, you know, you put the ellipses in, and however you want to give weight, or however the actor wants to give weight to those, I guess is up to them. But like, you've put that in because you know you wanted space there, or you wanted thought there, or a moment there. And I think reading it the first time, you know, we read the whole preamble about, you know who you are, which I think is taken out now, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Fagan suggested I take that out. And after the third or fourth time you suggested, I
You
finally
did
did
it.
it.
But, I mean, that just shows your humor, and that's why I like it. But I feel like Sam and I were able to just, like, read it like that, you know, and just we were given like nothing. I think I don't really know if you told us anything.
I don't.
I really
think I
don't
did.
think you did. Yeah.
No, I don't think you knew the plot at all. So it was like everything was happening in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember Sam and I both walked out of the classroom and we were just like, what the fuck? Like we were like, what?
Really?
Yeah. And Sam was like, you know how he goes, like he was just like, and I was like, Sam. I was like, what? And he was like, this is gonna slap. like it was just, yeah, and it really has. But I do remember, like, you know, there's times when like I'll read something and it'll really click, but I remember reading that for the first time truly and being like, damn.
Oh, because like I think everyone felt it in the room. I don't like, I mean, I can't speak for everyone in the room, but like I felt it.
Yeah.
I know that. And it was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it's not like something that happens every time. I think like most times it's like, oh, well, this could be changed and this could be changed. And like, you know, and the script has like evolved a bit.
Yeah.
But it is mostly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain bits of the middle were changed for story, and then this year, certain things were changed for production, maybe.
Yeah, like blocking things and
story.
Yeah.
What story you want to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing like that everyone, not everyone, but people have had issue with is like the ending. Because like,
yeah,
everyone wants them to get together. And I don't know why. Like, can you talk about it? Because like, I just like from my perspective, I'm just like, Dan is such a piece of shit, like repeatedly throughout the entire play, and people are still like, but they're gonna get together though, because they.
I think, and it's funny because like I always say, like, I don't know what I'm doing in this play. I don't know. I've not seen it. You know what I mean? I can't see what I'm doing, but all I know is like, I mean, I joke in rehearsal that I never catch a break the second I walk on stage. Nancy, not Jean. Jean's fine. But like Nancy steps into that room and it's just like, doosh, 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 doosh. I feel.
I mean, it's just because it's 5 years of this like resentment and like hurt and sadness. Yeah.
And I think why people root for them is because, and like we'll have to know what people think about this, but like I think like the love is still there and it can be seen? Question mark? Is that true? I don't know. I feel it.
I mean, I think so. I think it's really like the songs really win people over.
Yeah.
Well, the song.
Yeah.
You Kill Me. That I think that's like because they see that moment of like you being like simpatico, and I also think like the beginning after the initial like shock. They see how you talk.
Black cherry.
Yeah. I did get that because I was like, oh, black cherry.
Obviously. Yeah. Oh God, anything but black cherry, please. No, I think people, you know, whether they're rooting for Dan or Nancy, I think people are rooting for love, I think. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I do think people are rooting for love.
But it's not love, though.
And that's the thing. That's why it's like you'll have to come see the play to see how it all ends.
Tell us who's right.
Yeah, tell us who's right. Tell us what you think. But yeah, I mean, it's hard because, you know, I can only speak for myself. I don't know what Sam as Dan is thinking, but like, we have a joke in rehearsal. Dougie hasn't done this in a while, but we have a joke in rehearsal where Dougie will just go, "You love him," you know? And it's like,
yeah, I do think there are like those moments where it's like, oh, like you do still care for him.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, you know, of course Gina's actor needs to know that, but it's like, does Nancy know that? And then it's like, there are many times when I catch myself, Nancy catches herself in the show, and it's just like, whoa. Hold on a second. So it's like, yeah, I just think, yeah, and TJ's continuously made the show more and more devastating for me every rewrite we have. So now the ending is just the worst it's ever been. It does
get like...
Partly my fault, but...
I mean, you just like, you're so present in the play every single time we do it. And it's like...
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Try.
You do. You succeed. And it's not like, oh, like I'm going to throw to Gene because we need to have like a moment here. Mm-hmm. But it is like... It may like the things that we've done to change the ending make sense to me and are also not like caving into people going like, oh, I want them to be together. It's like, okay, fine, we'll give you like a taste of maybe, but this is reality. Like this is the real world.
Yeah.
Nancy has to get on a plane and fly back to the West Coast.
Has a flight.
Yeah.
It's like not a movie where you just
forgo
my plane ticket.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
have a flight, I have a job, I have a life.
I think it's like, I can't remember if this is one of the references that I had, but there's this movie Kicking and Screaming by Noah Baumbach. Mm-hmm. And this college guy, like they all graduate college and he breaks up with his girlfriend and she goes to Europe and he stays in upstate New York in their college town, like rotting away.
Okay.
And he, like for the whole movie, it's like, you just got to go talk to her. Like you got to go see her. Like, and he listens to this voicemail she's left him like hundreds of times, like if I'm remembering correctly. But the last scene is like him like finally like, I'm gonna go to Europe, like I gotta go talk to her, I gotta go. And he gets to the gate to buy the ticket and he doesn't do it and he leaves. And that's like that's I just love it. I love that shit.
Gotta watch that movie before the show.
It's great. I mean,
yeah,
it's not my favorite Noah Baumbach movie, but
yeah,
you know, like it's got like the
essence,
the core of like what he's great at. Like Marriage Story is like,
yeah,
oh my god,
that's good.
Kills me. Anyway, one last question.
Yeah,
then I'll let you go. What was your favorite part of this process from PDU to 12 days before premiere?
Wow. Favorite part of the process. I think working on it like with our team has been a lot of fun. And the collaboration that we've been able to have, because I've never been a part of a project or worked on a project for this long, you know? And it's funny because I've been thinking about this a lot, or maybe it came up once, but I thought about this recently about seeing one of the originals when we were in first year, so 2 years ago, or 3, whatever, 2, whatever. And they did a Q&A after, and I remember one of the actors was saying how he'd been a part of, he's played that role for 3 years. And I think at that point, the school was from first year. And I was like, whoa, that's so crazy to like work on a role for that long. Like, what is there to find? What do you do? And at that point I was a first year, so I had no idea, you know what I mean? But now, like, I've had the privilege, to just like live with this play this part, this character, this person, these situations for like a year and a half now, and I'm still finding new things. And I think that's been a great like discovery every time, you know? Like whether it's like me and Sam like running it or like talking about it after. Like we talked about something the other day and I was like, whoa. The like recording aspect, you know? It's just like I mean, I can say it all the time, but it's like that's a testament to the writing of the play and then to just the collaboration that all of us have had. I think that's been the best part. Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
You're such a people person, Jean.
Thank you, TJ.
Well, I've loved working on this with you.
Yeah.
And people love you.
Oh, TJ.
It's true. Everyone loves Jean. Anyway, have a good rehearsal.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking with me.
See you around.
And yeah, have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, TJ.
Try to